Welcome back, Top Notch Gang. Now, this video should be releasing right after the premiere, the actual release of episode 9. So, if you want a recap of both episodes 9 and 10, then you could check out my video from last week. That video went crazy, like I said. But this video is more focused on Cooper Saxe, his failsafe, and his master plan that what would happen after he died. I'm here to go over the clues, explain everything, because I know a lot of people have some questions they don't really understand. So we're going to explain everything beginning, middle, and end. And I want to break this down, explain this, and go over Saxe's plan because his plan basically had the most impact on the outcome, the choices, decisions, betrayal of all the characters in episode 9 and 10. His plan basically set up the rest of the last 2 episodes and all of the decisions the rest of the characters made. So in this video, we're going to talk about what he did, his plan, and how it made one thing lead to another and ultimately caused the ending sequence that you guys could check out in my last 2 videos if you really want to know what happened. If you don't, you can wait another week. But we're going to talk about how his plan basically caused havoc and chaos and set up the final sequence that we got in episode 10. But make sure you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe. Power is coming to an end. Also put down below in the comments any other shows, movies, anything you guys want me to review, get into. I'm really wanting you guys to throw some suggestions down in the comments that you guys would want to see. But let's jump into it. So basically, let's mention all the details ahead of time so it makes sense. I want to make sure I point out every single thing so that it all adds up by the end of the video. So Saxe, of course, was the mole, working with Jenny, working with Blanca to take down Davis, Tariq, the Tejadas, basically take down everyone. So he decided he was going to do this at the end of season 2 after Jenny lost the case. Breed admitted it was him selling the drugs on campus. Tariq got off scot-free, and Saxe decided he was going to help her. He was going to become a criminal informant, be undercover, become a mole. Saxe, knowing how dangerous this is, putting his life on the line, anything could happen, he's taking a major risk, decided to have a fail-safe to where if he was murdered, anything happened to him. And I'm basically, based on his plan, I'm assuming he thought it would be Tariq that takes him out. He had a fail-safe to send certain people Tasha's address in witness protection because he was one of the few and only people that knew where Tasha was. And we even see him say this in episode 8. So in episode 8, when it discovered he's the mole, where they basically push him to going after Effie, that fails because he tells Jenny and all of them Effie is the one they need to target. They go to collect her. They go to the spot. They arrest her, or they're about to arrest her. They go into the little place, but it's all sugar. It's not the cocaine. So that fails, and now he knows they know he's the mole. So he goes outside and he calls Tariq and he tells him that if anything happens to him, he's not gonna know what Tasha is. It'll be over for them. So yeah, that scene basically foreshadowed that Saxe had this up his sleeve, had this plan just in case they found out who was the mole. If anything ever happened, he had this up his sleeve the whole time. Unfortunately for him, but when he threatened Tariq, he didn't think it was gonna be Theo was gonna be the one who take him out. But yep, that's what happened. Of course, Saxe dies. We all know that. And I guess in his will or his lawyer, he had someone send out these letters. Now, to my knowledge, there were 2 letters, and a lot of people are confused on how Tommy got it and how everything happened, but let's get into 2-Bit first. So obviously, Saxe knows who 2-Bit is from the original Power Boy series. He was in Tommy's organization. Also, Saxe prosecuted him in season 1 of Book Ghost, I believe. He was on trial or had to say something about Ghost or say something like that to get out of jail. He also, 2-Bit was blackmailing Tariq in season 1 of Book Ghost. So Saxe already had knowledge of him, knew he had problems with Ghost owed the money or something like that, knew he was cool with Tommy. So one of the letters, of course, went to him. In this episode, 2-Bit decided to extort Tariq and use the letter of knowing where his mother is to basically Tariq now owes him money, and he took Tariq's Porsche. Now that's the simple version for 2-bit. That's how it all played out for him. Sax already had knowledge of him. Now the second letter that I know of went to Monet Tejada. Now I didn't think Sax, of course, and this is what I want to explain. In New York, Tommy is deemed as dead. They faked his death, of course, when he was after Tasha. Tasha snitched on him, etc. He's deemed dead in New York. He never planned for the letters to get to Tommy. I believe he sent the letter to Monet just for leverage against Tariq if it was ever needed. Now, the way this whole thing got exchanged to Tommy, how Tommy went after Tasha, is, of course, Diana. Now, I've been seeing people ask, how does Diana even know about Tommy or know he's alive? Like I just mentioned, when Tommy faked his death and Tariq and Tasha met at Ghost's gravesite because Tariq knew that Tommy was going to keep coming after Tasha, so he called to put her in witness protection. After she left, Tommy pulled out a gun on Reek. Reek said he knew he was going to keep coming after her. And remember, Monet came up behind Tommy and stopped him from hurting Tariq. When that happened and Tommy was leaving, Drew and Diana pulled up in a car and saw him start a whole conversation, so they know who Tommy was. Now, this is the part where SAXE'S plans start to have a ripple effect and works out even better than he expected. Originally, like I say, it was just sent to 2-bit and Monet for leverage against Tariq. But Diana's plan took it to another level and just worked out way better than SAXE'S could have ever thought of. So, two things happened. First, Diana was starting to believe Tariq might have done something to set her up, get her arrested, because the cameras caught her on the roof and he was the one who sent her up there to put the drugs on her. So, then later in that episode, in episode 9, she goes to confront him about that. He said he knew nothing about the cameras, he haven't used those lockers all year, etc. And she also asks him in this sequence if she was to get out of the life, move away, anything like that, what would happen with their relationship? What about them two? What would happen afterwards? And he pretty much blows her off, don't even answer, told her specifically, put herself first, do that, and he just left her in the wind. Now, unfortunately for Tariq, after he says this and this happens, the Tejadas, of course, Drew, Kane, and Diana find out what Monet did to Lorenzo. So after discovering this, I talked about this in my spoilers video, Diana and Drew come up with a plan to take out Monet and get from under her, and then use Kane to take out Tariq. Basically blame the whole situation on Tariq. And to start off this plan, what Diana did is she dressed up as Monet, went to Tommy's mom's house and delivered the letter to her, hoping she could get in touch with Tommy and give it to him, which he did. Now, these two situations pinned Monet and Tariq against one another. Monet now believing Tariq told the kids about what she did to Lorenzo, and Tariq now believing Monet gave Tommy the address to where Tasha was. And like I said, it's been a ripple effect, all caused because of SAX'S. So because of this, when Diana approaches Tariq about taking out Monet and doing it for her so she could get out, etc., he's fine with doing it. He's ready to go with his move because he already believes she sent Tommy after his mom. So of course, we know what happened. Everything didn't go according to plan, at least to those that watch episode 10. Spoilers, like I said, you should have watched my prior video. I'm so sorry if you didn't get there. But like I was saying, if you know what happened, Tariq was there to take out Monet finally. But Tasha intervened, shot up Monet before he could do it, and Kane didn't get a chance to take out Tariq. So Drew and Diana chose to stick to the plan. Diana told Kane she saw it was Reek, and then they went with their move with Noma to finally take him out. So basically, this plan by SAX'S turned out to be an even master and bigger plan than he ever imagined because of Diana wanting out, her relationship with Tariq being rocky, and all this and that. So his plan just, like I said, caused a chain of events. I would even go as far as to say his plan put in action led to the ending sequence we got, where it's everyone against Reek, where it's Effie, Drew, Kane, Noma, and everybody on that side versus Tariq. Because remember, at the end, he goes back to Noma to try to reassume his position at the top and take Monet's spot. Now, knowing this after Monet just got shot, Diana just told Kane that it was Tariq. They had to do something about it. So I would go as far as to say Saxe sending out these letters, he caused so much chaos and havoc even after death, even more in death than he ever could have while being alive. It basically gave us this ending and outcome we got in episodes 9 and 10. Those letters ultimately started a war, and once again, 2-Bit is going to be put into that war. We'll talk about that. Like I said, he gave Tariq the letter for exchange for Tariq's car, and we'll talk about that in another video. But Saxe ultimately caused this war and put it into action. Diana, of course, took his plan to another level, but without Saxe, none of this would have ever been possible. And I honestly believe this made his death better, because I didn't like he got killed by, I wouldn't say a random character, because we saw the character before, we met him before and prior, etc. But he wasn't really relevant to the story, didn't feel that big or impactful, at least the person killing him. Now with the aftermath of his death being this, it felt way more high stakes, and I really liked it. It made his character seem smarter, more prepared, knowing he was a mole, a criminal informant. Like I said, he could have been found out at any moment, so having this in a safe was really smart, and I like that the writers did this. And once again, I'll say it, I assumed he thought it would be Tariq that took him out, or was the one that found out about what he did. He sent the letters out more of for leverage and never expected his plan to go as far as it did because of Diana and Drew. But overall, that's it for this video. That's how SAXE'S plan and aftermath of his death caused the chain of events, this ripple effect that basically gave us the outcome of season 3 and the war we're gonna get going into season 4. As usual, you guys need to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy everything Power. Once again, leave in the comments other shows, movies, suggestions of anything you want me to talk about and go over. And I'm out.